Okay, guys, it's April 25th. I just want to talk about this new update for Road to Vostok. Antii, the developer, posted this today about 5 or 6 hours ago. In the beginning, he really just talks about early access, how it's gone so far, how his next patch, before he takes a little break, is going to include some missing content and some bug fixes. He talks about how he's sold over 250,000 copies, how this will allow him to fund the game over its entire lifetime. He's basically set for that. But the important part of this post is Build 2 Nomads. And he talks about the next big update, which is very, very interesting. I think this is going to change the game completely because he's adding a faction, a friendly faction called Nomads. He does list some of the features here. Some of them are extremely interesting. When you start a new game, you might see a group of nomads sitting near your cabin campfire. These nomads might be frying sausages, talking to each other, or heading out to fish. You can interact with them. There's mini tasks and mini bartering for items they have found. Now, to me, this sounds a lot like Stalker. If anybody's played even just the original Stalker, or Stalker Gamma, or Anomaly, Stalker 2, this sounds very, very similar to that. And as we keep reading, it sounds more and more like that, which is a good thing because it's a very good system. It works. They can be companions for you and help you fight enemies. But we'll keep reading. So when you transition to another map, you might hear some combat in the distance. If you help nomads fighting bandits, your reputation increases, and eventually you can start adding certain nomads to your friend list. Now that's very interesting. That's not something that is present in Stalker, at least from what I'm aware of. There could be mods for that, but as far as I'm aware, there's no friend list in Stalker, so that is very interesting. You can allow your nomad friends to visit your shelter to sleep, eat, or do certain behaviors like playing instruments with you or feeding your cat while you're away. Now, that is huge because most people's cats, I think, have died at this point. Because when you go all the way to Vostok, or you go to Terminal, and then you come back, I mean, you have to race back to keep your cat alive because by the time you get to Vostok, your cat is starving and usually close to zero. So a lot of people's cats have died. I'm kind of just doing Iron Man mode right now, so I've been dying plenty and kind of just restarting the game every now and then. So it hasn't really been a big deal, but for those long-term saves, that's pretty huge. So next feature, you can also join nomad meetings in the world or ask a nomad to follow you to a specific map. So that really is the companion type thing that we're talking about here. I'm really not sure what the nomad meetings like will have. I mean, he does go into it a little bit, but it doesn't explain everything. He says, at these nomad gatherings, you may encounter the nomad boss, a lore-based character with a trader-like task system. So I'm not sure if this will go into like story stuff, and I mean, it is a lore-based character, so I'm assuming these meetings and gatherings will have a lot of like story lore and just like drip feed of info. Next feature, if you decide to turn hostile and shoot nomads, your reputation will sink, and certain nomads will also turn hostile against you until you stabilize your reputation over time. Fair. You will also see nomads using vehicles and mopeds, looting, and there's random events like finding a wounded nomad screaming for help or one who is simply lost in the woods and so on. That is extremely interesting. Right now, there are only a few vehicles used by AI. There's the police van that Punisher uses, and there's the BTR, and then there's the search helicopter if you want to count that. But there's not many vehicles, so seeing a guy on a moped is going to be pretty funny. The wounded nomad screaming for help, that's pretty cool. I think there's going to be a lot of random events like that that will really just liven the game up and make the world feel more alive and lived in. So we'll just go on here. Another goal with Build 2 is also to introduce more randomness and chaos to the game world. Since Road to Vostok is a sandbox-like game, replayability requires a lot of randomness, and I have never seen this before, moments, that day-based linear event calendar, which is currently moments that kind of a strange worded sentence, but that day-based linear event calendar, which is currently in the game, cannot fully provide. I see what he's saying. Okay. So yeah, the event calendar where it lists the days and the events that happen on those days, he's saying that's not random enough, basically. It's kind of just like a given when those things will first be entered into the game world. So he wants to add a little bit more randomness, which is definitely going to make the game, again, feel more alive. Related to Nomads, I've already started outsourcing these new character models. This outsourcing also focuses on AI character variants, meaning there will be multiple unique models for Nomads, bandits, guards, and the military. On top of the Nomads, there's also going to be this high-level AI overhaul, which includes AI progression. Now, these are super interesting. The military faction will feel significantly harder than bandits, which currently isn't the case. They are harder. Like, don't get me wrong, they are harder. Um, yeah, significantly harder is a stretch for sure. Goal is to have faction-based unique behaviors, so fighting against each faction should feel different. Right now, the AI does feel very samey. Um, the military yells at you. That's like one thing different in English. They sound a little bit different. They really don't play any differently. So that'll be really cool. AI behaviors. AI will patrol in groups. That is currently not a thing unless you're using. See, I'm not even sure that it uses groups, but Oldman's immersive mod, sometimes they will group up, but it's almost like accidentally, like two people will be in the same house. I wouldn't really say like they're actually grouping up on purpose. It's more of just a random thing. And perform actions like weapon reloads. AI will investigate noises, meaning player actions will trigger non-combat behaviors. AI will pick up loot, light fires, use flashlights. That's huge. The fact that they don't use flashlights right now doesn't really make any sense when it's nighttime, so that's going to be very cool. I am interested to know how the game will perform with all these changes, because right now, for most people, it performs very well. It is extremely optimized, but these are a lot of changes, mostly like CPU based changes, because it's all based on AI. So I'm just wondering how this is going to stress the CPUs, and if this will still run as good. Throw grenades and so on, because they're going to be doing a lot of different stuff now. The current AI is it even goes into it. The current AI is unnecessarily CPU heavy, which is interesting because it still runs really well. So it's interesting that he says that. So I'm sure that it will be optimized even further. This overhaul will change the approach where the AI controller is no longer physics driven. Removing these expensive calculations from the AI controller will allow for a much higher active AI count and support the new factions like Nomads. I've played with immersive overhaul or immersive XP. I'm not sure what he's calling it now, but you can have up to, I believe it's like 18 spawns throughout the raid, and I think you can choose how many you have at a current time. I usually have like 6 to 8, I believe. Not 100% sure. I'd have to check that, but my game still runs essentially the same. I really haven't noticed a difference. I haven't tried Faction Overhaul yet, but that is my next mod on the list. Although he's kind of saying that this is going to change everything. It's not going to be physics driven, which I'm not really sure how that's going to actually appear in game. I wish I understood this a little bit more, but I don't. Builds 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a bit too early to discuss these in detail since build 2 is my main focus at the moment. I mean, yeah, let them cook. Like, that's really all I care about right now. Builds 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those can wait. The roadmap is filled to the brim, honestly. And the fact that he is contracting people out now is big. Like, the development is going to speed up now, probably faster than it ever has, because he's been working on this game for a long time. There's been a demo for this game for a long time that he was updating constantly, but it took a while to add things. Now that he has the funds to pay contractors, I think things are going to speed up, especially for those things like that really add like that quality of life, like character animations, possibly. He said character models, just like small stuff like that. I think probably more loot will be added, although I have a feeling he wants to do that himself. Each build will also have a dedicated devlog on the Road to Vostok YouTube channel, so we can look forward to that. Even though some of these builds are relatively far in the future, I can still share some behind the scenes details. For example, I have already initiated conversations for build 4, Gunslinger, which will include 50 custom made weapons for Road to Vostok. That is insane. In build 4, weapon customization will be deeper. There will be tertiary mechanics like folding stocks, visual wear linked to weapon condition, jamming animations, and so on. See, that's what I'm talking about with the contracting animations. I think contractor is going to play a big part in this. I'm sure he already knows the people he's going to be using. Like that is going to be huge. Given the successful launch, the future is really bright for Road to Vostok. I couldn't agree more. I think the future for this game is really going to be amazing. I really do believe in his vision. He has like a very singular, unique vision. And while this game does take influence from games like Tarkov or what's the other one, Stalker, obviously, even like DayZ, I think he said he was a big fan of DayZ. It takes a lot of influence, but it is his own unique vision. This takes place in Finland, at the border of Russia. It's very Finnish. I mean, he has Finnish music, he has Finnish food, and just a bunch of different Finnish things that really make this game unique. Um, he has a very cool vision for this game, and I really do believe in it. He says, I'm pretty confident that by the end of this year, you will already be playing a game that is a totally different beast compared to the current version. That sounds amazing. Honestly, I am very excited for that. And that is about it. So definitely looking forward to that. People are happy in the comments. All right, guys, have a good one.